Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear humanity, I've come again to kind of remind you living human beings that life on this planet is not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. You being living human being is not a coincidence. You being able to wake up or eat or whatever is not a coincidence. And it's not what you call, it's not what you wake up and say, I'm going to take a steak or to bet on this and that. No, life is not like that. So I'm just reminding you living human beings of your responsibilities to your own bodies, especially your own bodies, and to the people around you, because you are all living human beings who were created to live in harmony. You are all living human beings who were created by Allah to live in peace, in harmony, in order that you do kind of enjoy the beauty of life. Because I did explain to you human beings that life is a religion. Life is a religion. And that most holy, beautiful religion is Islam. Life is a religion, and that most holy, beautiful religion is Islam. As living human beings, you were created from the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. And everything that you look at in every direction, although all those living creations, their religion is Islam, because that is the religion of the most holy, glorified, almighty Allah. Today, I'm just reminding humanity that there is something that is very important, that as living human beings, you are not at war with anybody, or you are not at war with me, or with the words that I said to you as living human beings. Because if you look back, before I haven't been sending these messages, I've done so, I think it's less than, about 8 years, I've done my messaging to humanity. It's coming to 8 years. But when I used to message, I used to do it to make it simple. But in the last couple of years, last 3-4 years, I kind of try to open the minds of men and show them whose responsibility is it that your life, your health, is in good condition. And what are the commandments, what are the holy divine commandments that guides men to live in harmony with, first of all, with yourself, to understand that you are a Muslim. Because over the last, if you go back in the last 10 years or more, Islam was being tainted with very, very ugly posters and news headlines and what have you. But that is very wrong. Maybe that time you as living human beings, you did not know that it is from Islam that every one of you was created, and it is from Islam, from the most holy, beautiful religion, That you women who look at your bodies and you say, oh, look in the mirror and you say, I'm beautiful. Every single fragrance of beauty on your face is built by a red and white blood cell. And the region of every red and white blood cell in your body is Islam. The region of the most holy, beautiful region the most holy, beautiful region of Islam is the region of every red and white blood cell in every living human being. So, over the years, many of you did not know what Islam is because you used your own, you abuse. When a people lose their worthiness and they become worthless, that's when they find things like the spilling of blood of others a kind of an entertainment thing. When men and women become worthless, they find the spilling of the mutilating and the psychological and physical mutilation of others, of their fellow living human beings. They find that entertaining because you've lost the worthiness of yourselves as living human beings. And then you lose the ability to recognize the beauty of life. Whereas every living human being on this planet is a Muslim. Whether you like to hear it or not, but that's the way it is. That is the way it is. Every living human being on this planet is created or is conceived, created, and given birth when you arrive on this planet or whatever as a pure Muslim. With that, I did show you something maybe you did not understand its proper interpretation. A very holy signature of Allah that is in every throat of every living human being who has ever stepped on this planet. In every throat, in every, whatever the bottom of your throat here, or whatever, there is a holy special signature of Allah. That holy signature, Allah demands that when you are alive on this planet as a new baby born child, in order to identify yourself to your mother, you have to satisfy the most holy, beautiful name Allah, so that your mother can recognize, because she carried you for 9 months. She did not know how you look like. She even didn't know what you ate. She didn't even know she didn't know anything. She doesn't know anything about you. And you too, when you're in your mother's womb, you don't know anything about your mother who is carrying you. You only know Allah when every living human being is in the womb of a mother. She or he, they know only Allah, the most holy, glorified, almighty Allah. Because he molds you from a single molecule, atom, whatever you can think of, to what you living human beings, beautiful women, beautiful handsome men, whatever, strong, whatever. You are all Muslims, created by Allah. With that, Allah puts a signature. The signature that whether you like it or not, as a new baby born child. On this planet, you have to bear witness to those around your mother and your mother herself. That is Allah, 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 Allah who created you, who molded you, who has been your friend when you were in the womb of your mother. When you were in the womb of your mother, it's Allah who molded you, who was your friend. So with that, my people, I just want to remind you that I showed you something that you do not have, I did not give a proper interpretation, but I wanted to go back to it and tell you exactly what it means. I told you that every living human being on this planet, you are responsible for your own health. You are responsible for your own health, your heart and your brain. With that, Allah has laid down all the divine laws that prohibits men from alcohol, prohibits men from adultery. Allah has laid down laws that prohibits men from committing, shedding blood of one another. And Allah has forbidden men from associating anything unto the most holy, glorified Allah. Any deity that you men and women of today think that, those are things that they are worthless. The same way they've made your hairs and whatever worthless. The same way. One, or maybe, for instance, if you are dry, because I would say things that men think that, I'm worthless. When you have maybe a car, when you're driving a car, a Mercedes or a whatever, you name it, you may think, no. It may drive you 2 meters and then it shuts down. It may shut down forever that you'll never be able to use it. So, you thought you had a car worth whatever money and it shuts down. It's complete. Or it can turn easily. You are driving and turns over. It takes a part of your body, your leg, your whatever. So, I have to remind you, men of modern times, that you are all living Muslims on this planet, whereby Allah commands every living Muslim not to commit injustices against one another, not to commit injustices even against yourselves as individuals. Men can easily commit injustices against, when you commit injustice against yourself, against yourself, you can easily commit injustices against others. So, my people, I try to remind you that there were generations of men who thought they were intelligent, who thought they were supermen, they were descendants. And Allah sent with time and time, Allah said to them, my people, you are a people astray, you are people who have gone astray. And those men and women said, we. Allah said, I send a warning time and time again. Men of those days, some of them, they said, we are witches. Some of them said, we are doctors. Some of them, they said, we are technicians. Some, like you living human beings today. But what worries me most in what you call modern times of today is that you people, you started this war against yourselves, whereby living human beings can find entertainment in the shedding blood of one another. you were to go in some African countries or whatever, even it's mainly because it started in Europe, but some Africans, they have pictures of a man they call Jesus, Isa. His arms straight, tortured, stripped naked, beaten, and his body is dropping with blood. Every part of his body has a blood, whatever, that is running down. But these are what we call, when you look at that, in Africa, it worries me a lot because there are countries where they say, you can go to, they call their places where they worship, they do their prayers from, or their whatever, churches. A child of 3 years can enter such a place and look at that man on the cross, his arms stretched, pinned against the cross. He's gasping for air. There's a crown of thorns on his head. Do you know that a child of 4 years or 3 years, even up to 13 years, when they look at such a tormenting and very, very traumatizing picture of Isa, or whom we call Jesus on the cross. My people, your children, they die as little as 8 years old. Because with that, when you look at that, their soul just departs and they say, they become things that the kind of, you may be going to church every Sunday or whatever, and if you hear your child sing the same songs you are singing, but her soul left her a long time ago. Her clean soul left her a long time ago, because I know not a sick person can easily look at that, and we're looking at such a picture of a man, his arms pinned on the cross, he's gasping for air, there's a crown of thorns on his head, he's stripped naked. A child, when they are at the age of 8 and between 8 and 9 and 7, they wouldn't tell you as a mother that, mother, this is very sickening. They wouldn't tell you. But deep down inside them, they are broken. The dignity in them is broken, is crushed. They become useless to themselves. After that, they develop the character. They say, child, you may have about 4 boys on the compound. They are about 5, 10, 8, 7, and they are praying. But they go to church with you every day. So one of the boys, he can easily, whatever, pick up these bricks that they use to build houses. He can easily pick that and hit it on his brother's head. Because what he saw, the one whereby a man is on the cross, whom we call Jesus, is on the cross, his arms pinned against the cross, his body is gasping for air and is drenched in blood. Then that boy lost once. Anybody under the age of 10 or whatever can easily pick up a brick and he throw it at his brother, because his soul died when he looked at that psychological weapon that killed him, killed his soul. The psychological weapon of a man who crucified, he's bleeding, his head whatever with thorns, a crown of thorns. My people, this is something which you conjectured. You conjectured a belief to suit your desires, to drain, to spill the blood of others. And I think the numbers of men who classify themselves as Christians, who said that they are Christians, and some of them say they are militant Christians, outnumber the number of men who say we are Muslims. And the most worrying thing is that in the so-called modern times, because men lost the worthiness of themselves and they became worthless, they spend 365 days of the year engaged in manufacturing weapons. In those weapons, they are weapons of mass destruction. If it exploded over New York, everything will turn into rubble. If it exploded over California, everything will be into rubble. If it exploded over Chicago, everything will be rubble. So, if you can spend and you pay, you people, such that you find the bloodshed and destruction and fully engaged in the extinction of your own whatever, as human beings. You cannot see what I'm telling you. You cannot see. Because you are drunk. Your men and women who are drunk. You are gangsters, drunk and intoxicated. There's some men in whatever they cannot walk from the end of Wall Street to the other end of Wall Street without having 7 bodyguards, and each of those bodyguards has either a pistol or whatever. Alaikum salam. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.